Okay, good morning. This is my breakfast for this morning. It is probably one of my new favorite breakfasts because I really like eggs, and I like them eggs over easy. And the pesto is really good with eggs. And then I either have avocado slices, or if I don't have avocado, I'll just have some of that holy guacamole. And I think it makes a pretty good breakfast. So I'm getting my protein and then some vegetables, I guess, and a little bit of oil and stuff. And then I cook the eggs in olive oil, and I like to cook them in a lot of olive oil. You can see it's got a little bit of, there's oil all over them. I think it makes them taste good. Sometimes I just mix it up like this. If I'm having the avocado slices, I'll just kind of eat a piece of each and put on my fork. But Jan said we could buy all this stuff at Costco. Where are we?
We're at Costco and finding it in a quiet little corner.
So these are the best deal we've seen on these yet. They're only $5 for 4 of them, so that's the best deal we've seen. We got our cauliflower rice, pesto, and this is pretty cheap this way too, so you weren't kidding.
For sure.
And I love that our cart is just full of fresh stuff.
And paper towels.
Paper towels.
And paper towels.
We used to buy like gummy bears and crackers and all sorts of crap. Oh, and the salmon. We're going to get salmon here too. Okay, so this is another thing that's changed over the last 2 weeks is the contents of our fridge. More and more and more, it's just becoming fresh foods. And we have our pasture eggs, prosciutto. This is one thing I need to get out of my fridge, which is the shots I have to give myself. We have our pastured chicken. All this food, except for the Pizza Hut where Josh still works. That we got to get rid of. But these drawers are full of good stuff. Don't really ever use the butter anymore. Kids still use some of this stuff, but that's looking pretty good. And our freezer's similar. We still have all of our stuff in here, which we pretty much haven't used most of this stuff at all, so. But we still keep it around because other people eat it. So we're doing another update from the pool because, yeah, because we started in the pool 2 weeks ago, right? A little more than 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And now that the sun's out and the storm has gone away, see, no more storm. Just want to know how
I don't even hear a cicada.
I know, no cicadas in our yard. I just want to know how you're feeling.
I feel pretty dang good, especially considering we've got rain the last, 3 days really.
Your joints hurting at all?
A very, very small amount, but I do feel really weak. It takes my body a while to recover after, being so achy and stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel more weak than anything, but my joints feel really well.
Well, I'm definitely feeling pretty good. Always feels good on my Crohn's when I'm in the water. Takes the pressure away or something. I don't know. Plus, just being in the sun, we're getting our vitamin D. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Stocking up for the week.
I don't want to be living in one of the sunniest states in the country and be vitamin D deficient, because that would just be sad. So, even though most of our vlogs or updates or videos are based on eating healthy and the Plant Paradox stuff, the name of the channel is actually AZ Life. So I do like to include little things about living in Arizona and what it's like to beat the heat in the summer. And that's why I like to do these in the pool, because even though it's super hot outside today, when you're sitting in the pool like this, it's actually really nice. Very, very comfortable. So I would definitely recommend having a pool. If you have little kids, you're worried about the safety of it, I understand not having one. Obviously it adds expense, so that may be a prohibitor as well. But if at all possible, it sure does make the summers a lot easier to deal with. And one thing that we noticed here in Arizona is most of the pools are either small, so maybe even half the size of ours. They might just be like this, And they're also very shallow. Like mine, if I go to the deepest spot, is only about 5.5 feet deep. There's not a whole lot of pools, at least, within the last 10 or 15 years that are 8 feet deep or so, but I'm right now in the deepest spot. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the main ones is probably just that the deeper the pool, the less likely the sun is to heat it. So you can actually use your pool longer if it's a little bit shallower. And the other reason is most people just use their pools for like what we're doing, just sort of lounging in the pool. I can swim sort of laps in here, but my pool's only about 30 feet long. However, there's about 6 feet of it here that's only maybe 2 feet deep. So that actually means the effective swimming length of it is only about 25 feet. So if I swim laps, it's just like I only use my arms or I only use my legs, because using both at the same time, you just get across the pool too fast. So, and most people don't cover their pools. I think it's just because you can use your pool so often, and covering it is kind of a pain, especially when they're all crazy shaped. So that was one thing that, when we first moved here, we realized so many people have small pools or very shallow pools, and kind of wonder why other places don't. That's not more common. Like in Utah, everybody had super deep pools, like diving pools, but you have to heat that pool. So for dinner tonight, we're doing a variation of the cauliflower crust pizza that was in the book, and then this one here. Instead of using the regular cauliflower pizza crust that's in the book, we decided to try a little different twist on it. First of all, I didn't prepare the crust the same way that it says in the book. There's a guy, a YouTube channel called Chef Buck, and he actually said to just kind of steam the cauliflower like on a medium-low temperature for a while, and just kind of get a lot of the steam out, and then add it to your egg. And then instead of using mozzarella cheese, said to use a hard cheese, so we used a pecorino cheese, and it was about 1 egg and 1 cup of pecorino to 2 cups of cauliflower, and then I doubled it so we get a big enough like family-sized pizza. And then last time I made it, it stuck to the pan, so I just used a parchment paper, and that seems to be working. And from here on out, we cooked it for about 15 minutes in the oven to kind of set it like dough, and now we're going to actually try putting some pesto sauce on as the sauce. And then instead of using the buffalo mozzarella, we're going to try the goat cheese, just some crumbled goat cheese. If you've never had goat cheese, it kind of tastes like cottage cheese. So totally different taste than mozzarella. And then we're going to put some artichokes on it, or artichoke hearts, and then the prosciutto, and some mushrooms, and a little bit of spinach on part of the pizza, because I can't eat spinach. And we'll tell you how it turns out. It's a little bit of experimentation. I'm a little worried about the goat cheese, but I looked online and people do use goat cheese on pizza. This is a pretty salty pizza, especially with using the pecorino cheese in the crust. So that'll give it and the pesto. So maybe this cheese, since it's a little more, tart like cottage cheese, maybe that'll help offset it a little. So here's the finished pizza. Got part of it with the artichoke hearts on the right. And we just pulled it out of the oven, so we'll see how it tastes as soon as it cools a little. Alright, so I've already had one piece. I can't really do it with one hand. Let me pause it. So, already had one piece and it was really good, but I'll get my reaction on this one. Alright, so here we go. It's actually really good. All those flavors actually go quite well together. What did you think?
I thought it was really good. On mine I had artichoke hearts, and it was really good.
Yeah,
Didn't seem as salty this time as it did last time.
Yeah, definitely not as salty. Like the first time we made it was super salty.
Oh, the cheese.
Probably because, well, I don't know, the cheese, I had more of that other cheese. I think the goat cheese takes away some of the hyper salty. So if you made it exactly as it is in the book and you thought it was a little too salty, try it with goat cheese. You could do pretty much the same recipe and just put some goat cheese on there. And we also put some mushrooms on, and maybe if you add other vegetables, it won't be as salty, but I thought it was really good. But the original recipe didn't call for the pesto, so I liked it. I would eat this and not even think it was healthy, so. And I didn't particularly like the goat cheese by itself. I will just say that. I mean, it was like cottage cheese, which I'm not really a fan of. So I was surprised that it tasted good on the pizza. Probably the biggest sign that it was good is our daughter Natasha ate hers. That's her empty plate. She hates pizza, so she won't even eat like pizza that everybody else likes.
Yeah.
So the fact that she ate it means it's good. I mean, it's not that she hates pizza because she doesn't like the flavor. She just thinks it's too greasy and junk foody, which is funny because she eats a lot of sugar, but that's another story. You know what goes good with such an Italian food, with goat cheese and prosciutto and basil? Well, not basil, pesto. I mean,
There's basil in the pesto.
only one thing can be good to drink with this, and that would be a Pellegrino sparkling water pre-mixed with, what's that stuff called?
Balsamic vinegar.
Balsamic vinegar, of course, imported from Italy. Perfect. And yes, it is pre-mixed. Can you see it down in there?